This is pectoral antebrachialis. If this is pectoral, then this has to be pectoralis major. If that's pectoralis major, then this is pectoralis minor. And this last little fella has to be ziphihumerales. So again, let's do this again. This is pectoral antebrachialis. This is pectoralis major. This is pectoralis minor. And this cupid right here is ziphihumerales. Once we found that, we should be able to go forward. However, there's this fellow that's right on top, and we're going to talk about him distinctly in a second. This is what? My clavodeltoid or clavobrachialis, depending on what you want to call it. Now, as we go from there, there's a large muscle that inserts in the bottom of the arm. That is latissimus dorsi. So when I take latissimus dorsi and retract it, I'm able to see some other muscles. I'm able to see these things called serratus anterior or serratus ventralis. Where, Mr. Gilmore? Where you looking at them? Those are them. They help elevate the rib. Oh, now you see the rib. Those are called serratus anterior or serratus ventralis. You with me? All right.
It's right here, right?
I'm gonna go to it again. So what's this little cute fella right here? Latissimus dorsi. So I'm gonna take the latissimus dorsi and I'm gonna retract it. When I do that, now, if we look here, we'll be able to associate all of our other muscles for the time being. All right, let's do it. This cute little muscle that's right here at the base of the skull, that's clavotrapezius. So he connects to this muscle, which is my clavodeltoid. So again, I have clavotrapezius being connected to the clavodeltoid. We got that. We don't need that anymore. Bless you. Now I leave there and I got this muscle right here. This muscle, that muscle is the acromiotrapezius. If I leave the acromiotrapezius, then I come to this muscle right here, acromiodeltoid. Okay, Mr. Gilmore, that's rocking. What's this muscle right here? That's spinotrapezius. If that's spinotrapezius, that makes this spinodeltoid. So again, I got clavotrapezius, I got clavodeltoid. I got acromiotrapezius, I got acromiodeltoid. I got spinotrapezius, and I got spinodeltoid. We're rocking and rolling, Mr. Gilmore, we understand that. Again, what is this muscle I'm retracting?
Latissimus dorsi.
When I retract latissimus dorsi, I can see a little bit more musculature. Now, I just retracted the acromiotrapezius, and I find this first muscle right here called the
supraspinatus.
That's supraspinatus. If that's supraspinatus, that means below the spine would be infraspinatus. If that's the infraspinatus, then this muscle would be teres major. If that much is true, Mr. Gilmore, this muscle would be
Subscapularis.
Subscapularis. Mr. Gilmore, there's some muscle that's snaking up like that. What is this muscle called? Levator scapulae ventralis. How do I look for him? I look for him at the anterior portion of this cute muscle we call the acromiotrapezius, and he comes here and he snakes up, going toward the head. So I see him. I get him wrong. His name is Levator scapulae ventralis. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. What is all these other muscles that's going here, Mr. Gilmore? Well, stay with me because we have to cut them. There's one going up toward the base of the skull. Well, Mr. Gilmore, what are all these muscles? These are rhomboideus muscles that we cut. So this fellow right here has to be rhomboideus capitis or occipitoscapularis. The muscles that go to the medial border of the scapulae. They go to the medial border of the scapulae. It's going to be a band of them. They are called rhomboideus minor. because I'm going to go to the medial border of the scapulae. So, Mr. Gilmore, where is this muscle right here? That's rhomboideus major, because he's going to go to the inferior border of the scapulae. That way we can't get it wrong. Do it again so I can know exactly where you're going with this. There's one rhomboideus muscle. He goes to the base of the skull. His name is rhomboideus capitis or occipitoscapularis. Then, Mr. Gilmore, we find that there is another band of muscles that went, and they came from the medial border of the scapulae. Their name was rhomboideus minor. Then we also had a band of muscles again. They're smaller, but they go to the inferior border of the scapulae. Their names were rhomboideus major. We're rocking. Now, from there, let's figure out the rest of these muscles, Mr. Gilmore. This muscle you call rhomboideus capitis or occipitoscapularis, he actually sat on top of this other muscle. His name was splenius. Splenius is a very large muscle, but we can also retract him. As we retract splenius, Mr. Gilmore, and you insert that probe between these two muscles, the muscle that's found on the top of this was called biventus cervicus, and so the muscle on the bottom is known as complexus. So again, we got biventus cervicus on the top, complexus on the bottom. They're like shingles. They're overlapping each other. So we got the major muscles of the neck from the posterior aspect. We got those locked and loaded. We can't get that wrong. We again go to the arm. As we go to the arm, we notice that there are several muscles that we need to find. Let's find our orientation of the ones that we already know. We found that this muscle that was on top was called the clavodeltoid. But Mr. Gilmore, there is a muscle here. Well, we're going to say this is the most lateral portion of this muscle called the triceps brachiolaterales. Is that correct? Triceps brachiolaterales. If that much is true, Mr. Gilmore, this muscle that goes real long, we're going to call him triceps brachiolongus, because he's the longer out of the two. Well, Mr. Gilmore, you're missing something here. No, I'm not. There's a muscle that goes in the middle of this. His name is triceps brachiomedialis. So again, we got triceps brachiolaterales, triceps brachiolongus, triceps brachiomedialis. All three muscles are quite visible here. And well, Mr. Gilmore, if that much is true, what's this muscle that's right here? That muscle will be known as brachialis. That muscle will be known as brachialis. Well, it looks like to me, Mr. Gilmore, you got all of those. Can you show me the rest of them? No problem. As we look here, there's this muscle on the top that helps the cats kind of frail up. His name is epitrochlearis. It's a very thin muscle, so it's easy to identify. Epitrochlearis. When I retract epitrochlearis, for some reason, Mr. Gilmore, I see this muscle on the top. That muscle is quite large. He helps me do a biceps curl. So we're going to call this muscle biceps brachii. If this is biceps brachii, this long muscle will be triceps brachii longus. If this triceps brachii longus, we found that this muscle right here was on, which we saw on the other side, it's triceps brachii medialis. But he goes on the other side. We just saw him, Mr. Gilmore, right underneath. Just showing you from both sides. Well, we've already went on the forearm, but we're going to go over it again. And I think we did it over here. So stay with me. Stay with me. Alright. We found there was this muscle that came off the brachialis and he connected. His name was brachioradialis. Once we found the brachioradialis, we found that there's a cute little muscle right here. But I'm on the posterior aspect of the arm, so we're going to call this fella extensor carpi radialis longus. If that much is true, Mr. Gilmore, it has another little muscle that kind of gets married to that muscle. His name is extensor carpi radialis brevis. If that much is true, I got this muscle like a communication muscle, so we're going to call it extensor digitorum communis. Then we got this other muscle, Mr. Gilmore. His name is going to be extensor digitorum lateralis. After I leave him, I got this other muscle, his name want to be called